just want to say Catanus. Oh, hey, welcome, America. It's the Eric Rodney Show with Robin, presented by Offensively Creative and Dinsmore Steel. You're never going to believe this, but I'm America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan, and I own Offensively Creative. That is Rod, the PEO god. He owns Dinsmore Steel, and we have the Thriller from Manila, who's very confused about satire, and his name is Robin Valdez. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest today. He is the determiner of destinies. He's the guru to gurus. He's a motivational speaker. He's Nate Catanus. Welcome to the show. Oh my God.
Hey, thank you. Thank me for being here. I'm incredibly excited for you all to be able to hear the words come out of my mouth and into your ears, and to the hundreds of thousands of people that are tuning into this show right now. Excited to be on The View. And
let the healing begin.
Whoopi Goldberg's going to be here later. You're our biggest get by far. I think you know that, and I'm a huge fan. I've attended all your speeches. I've bought all your courses, and I think I'm a better man for it. So I have a lot to. I did a deep dive into Catanus last night, and I think we have a lot to talk about later in the show.
I'm incredibly excited for all of you.
Yeah, no,
we're
excited.
I'm here to transform, change lives, and let's do that. Okay, let's get to it.
So, is there a better medium for that than LinkedIn? I don't think so.
This is the life-changing social channel. Everyone's seen your stuff. I'm not sure if you've seen our stuff, but what we do on this show is the first half hour, we sort of cover the news. America demands our opinions and thoughts on such things.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the second half of the show, we get deep into Catanus, and we're going to learn a little bit about you and from you. And I think the world will be a better place. But I don't know if you know this, but every day here in the United States is a reason to celebrate. It's something. It's that National Something Day.
That's right.
Today is a holy day, I think, in the United States. It's National Video. What my issue is here is that this is the least accurate picture of 5 people playing video games in the history of 5 people playing video games. Don't you think this would be a more accurate picture? Aren't these the incels? Now listen, Nate, you can't grind when you're playing video games. You can't hustle when you're playing video games. You can't add value when you're playing video games. So do you play video games?
You know, I never play video games. Just like you said, you can't hustle, you can't grind, you can't go out there transform lives, minds. You can't go out there and win when you're doing this, right?
No.
My question to you guys is, how do these guys even sleep at night, knowing that they're adding zero value to the world, right?
I don't know.
That their businesses are dwindling, right? I'm assuming every single one of these are entrepreneurs, right?
And in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day, yep, it's bright. I know, it's disgusting.
And my advice to them is well, first of all, advice to you and everybody is never sleep, right? Because you can't hustle when you're sleeping, right? So
that's right.
Be awake at all times.
It's very difficult.
And I actually practice sleep bursts. So it's 16 seconds of sleep every 16 minutes. Nobody actually knows that you're ever sleeping, right? But you're always on your game, right? You're always winning. You're always grinding. You're always hustling. You're always adding value. You're never playing video games,
right? Now that we
go ahead. Can I just ask a question though? I was a little confused on that picture because everyone was using a different controller. Number one, so I'm not sure what game system they were playing. Maybe all 4 at once. And the other one I had is what is the thing in the background there? I'm not sure. That looks like some kind of accordion. And last but not least, I do not see one I do not see one Mountain Dew bottle.
No, it's very confusing. The whole thing. And these 2 women, way too attractive for video games.
There's 3 women.
Oh, this is the one of the fact. She's enjoying the entertainment.
Well, I also
brought popcorn and they all brought plaid.
They're all looking at a different screen too.
That's right.
Interesting.
Stock photography. Oh, it's just these are. See, here we go. Rockstar. He's eschewed the Mountain Dew, but this is your average video game player. It's either this or someone that looks like Robin. Robin, you look like a guy who plays video games with a giant air traffic control headset you got on there.
Yeah,
and the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
Yeah,
I do. I'm getting to quit though because I'm just
the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
What do you play? What do you play when you play video games?
Usually first-person shooters.
Have you considered instead of doing that, hustling or grinding or adding value?
No. So I'm ready to be humbled today.
Okay. And you will be, sir. You will be. Because once again, we have the guru of all gurus.
Yeah, let's get through these stories. I want my life to change while I'm on air. Go on. Answers. I need answers. At least some for Robin.
We all do.
Robin, I want you to think of just some of the obstacles, some of the challenges, some of the things that are in your life right now that you face every single day that you want to overcome. Mm-hmm. Because that's what I'm here for. Okay. So any question you have, I have the answer to it.
See, there you go. So think about it while we get through the news. So what's up? What's in the news today?
So Japan, always very famously known for coming out with really weird trends. The latest being going on vacation without your suitcase. It's called Anywhere, Anywhere. So the idea is to rent clothes for your entire trip. It's an internet service that lets you borrow these clothes to match the agenda of whatever you're going to bring, and to bring down the cargo weight of passenger craft. I think it's more for women though, because if you're a man, you're just bringing the same jeans and t-shirt.
Here's the thing too. I don't know. Okay. That's an interesting point, but you know how much that, like, ladies, you know how it's a stereotype, but I believe it to be true. They care about their clothes. I think under no circumstance, if you're going on fucking vacation, you're going to let somebody else pick the shit that you're going to wear for a week and take pictures in. Also, all these clothes come from overstock and they're secondhand. Also, Japan is not ready for how fat Americans are. This is a very xenophobic take on this service. Don't get me wrong, but there's like, what is the size? Like the average Japanese guy is like 5'3", 110 pounds. We're like 5'10".
That's the average kid here, right? That's the average 3-year-old here. I just have a quick question. So, Stitch Fix has changed their marketing.
Yeah,
they've changed the logo.
It's exponentially worse than Stitch Fix, and the reason
anywhere.
Oh, my mother, yeah. Nate, you do a lot of international traveling. You speak all over the world. Would you ever trust somebody else to pick out your clothes?
I wouldn't at all. No, and here's why. I essentially own one item of clothing. It's an Armani suit. And I have 25 of them, and I wear the same one every day. Now I don't own a pair of pants. I don't need to. You show up on a show like this, you don't need pants, right? You don't waste time with pants when you could be hustling and grinding. The idea, first of all, that they're talking about getting rid of the suitcase. I went all in on a product. I'm going to give you guys this opportunity, this investment opportunity right now. It's a product that we've actually launched just recently. It's not a suitcase. It's called the Shoot Case.
Oh,
and so this is a competitor to the situation here. What we're talking about. So what it is basically, it's repurposing a sausage casing. So like a long intestinal tube that you, instead of putting meats into it and eating it, it's sustainable. We repurpose that, and you can fit your toiletries in there. You can fit your clothes in there. Absolutely. And of course,
is this vegan?
It's 100% vegan after you've eaten the sausage out of the. It shows up with sausage. That's for the nutrients that you eat. Then you put the clothes. Then you put the toiletries in.
So it's a snack and a solution.
It's two things in one, right? And of course, to travel with it, you do have to pack it up your rectum, and we give you the chute packer is part. It comes with a chute packer, and you're able to do that. So
now, what's this looking like out the door? What's the price point on this?
It's $29.95. 17 payments of $29.95.
Not bad.
But if you act now, it'll be 18 payments. So if you invest now, Shoot Case, go to my website, NateCatanusEnterprises.com /shootcase, and you can invest today.
This is exciting. This is very exciting. Do you, when you travel with it, do you shove it up your anus before and then take it out of your anus after, or do you swallow it before and then take it out after?
That's a great question. We get that question every single day. This is like one of the FAQs, the very first one. Yep. You do have to. It's full anal. Okay. So I just want to make sure that's why it comes with the chute packer, and that's why it comes with a chute plunger. So it's an in and out situation, and you do need the tools.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so you do have to wear it. You do have to bring a suitcase for the tools.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the trade-off. We don't really actually get rid of a suitcase at all. It's actually a bigger suitcase. You have to check that.
But it's affordable. Very delicious. It's vegan.
I like it.
No, I think it makes a lot of sense.
It makes. I don't know. How do we go on without it? Before I'm beginning this thinking.
I think what it helps too. So the whole idea behind this, well, one of the many ideas is that. So they say 22 pounds of luggage will save you 16.5 pounds in emissions, and they say that's like running a hairdryer for 10 minutes every day for 78 days. I don't know how they came up with that math, but here's the real concern. So these are the world's biggest pollutants. This is China. This is 10.7. It's a big number, million or metric tons. Metric tons. Your suitcase, keep in mind, is 16.5 pounds of emissions. China, 10 million metric tons. The United States, 4 million metric tons. The European Union 2, India 2.
So China has a lot of suitcases. Is that what I'm getting out of this?
It's gonna take a lot of Japanese shopping. It's gonna take a lot of luggage enemas. It's just gonna take a lot to reduce these numbers. I think we can do it if we hustle and grind and add value. But the point is, we have work to do.
Yeah, but I mean, hey man, change starts with yourself. So go start with the
Change very
suitcases.
often starts with yourself.
Gotta start with
What was the name of this organization? Anywhere and Everywhere. What was it again? I'm sorry. Because I had an idea for it. It should be Nowhere, Never.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible.
I'm here all week, gang.
The women that watch this hate this idea, and I understand. Like, here's the other thing too: you're going to hedge your bets. You were going to order this service just to check it out, but it's not like you're not going to also pack a bag with all your normal shit. So I think really we're going to double down on emissions. There's going to be blowback.
That's for sure.
Okay, well we've solved that issue, and we have a new investment opportunity. What else is in the news, Robin?
Snapchat just won't fucking die. Apparently people really just enjoy disappearing pictures, and I know I'm supposed to be the representative for Gen Z and back this up, but like, man, Snapchat just sucks. So there's these new policies are coming out for teens between 13 to 17 to protect them from seeing age inappropriate content and interacting with Snapchat users that they're not supposed to interact with. Honestly, if I had kids, I'd be much happier knowing that they were like subscribed to Pornhub Premium instead of Snapchat Premium. Like, it's Snapchat Premium. Why?
That's an interesting point, and I see where you're coming from, because I think if you're on Pornhub, it's sort of like the strip club theory that I have. Women get freaked out when their guys go to strip clubs, but unless you're Tommy Lee, you're not going home with the stripper. It's the safest place you could possibly be because you're with a bunch of other gross guys who are not getting laid. The real danger is going to a bar where you might pick somebody up. You know what I mean? So if you're on Pornhub, absolutely, you're not going home with a porn star. If you're on Snapchat, you might go home with your neighbor, right? Is that your overarching point?
I didn't even know that Snapchat was still in business. I thought Mark Zuckerberg bought it and they turned it into something else. Or maybe Elon sent it to the moon. I get confused.
Well, it was for nudes, right? Wasn't that the whole thing? The nudes, and then the teenagers showed up, and then
the nudes. Oh, nudes. I'm sorry.
The nude. How do you send pictures of your penis, Rodney, to friends and family, if not through Snapchat?
Facebook.
It's a great way to connect with family.
What's that?
It's the best place to connect.
I agree with that.
So here's how it goes there, right? You see the guy who failed 9th grade English I went to high school with, right? Explaining how Donald Trump won the election. Right beneath it is a picture of my genitalia, and then beneath that is the girl that I went to high school with now selling leggings.
Hopefully you put some Vaseline on the lens or something that,
right,
to make it more Facebook appropriate.
Right. Add some mystery, a level of intrigue.
I'm afraid Mark will add it to his private collection.
We live in strange times. Here's my pickle theory too. So we've evolved for so long that there's like pickle etiquette. If you go to the deli, right, you get a giant pickle with the sandwich, you go, oh, that's fucking normal. Meanwhile, if you go to a party and they serve little tiny pickles, you're like, this is what happens at parties. However, if you went to a deli and they give you one tiny pickle, you'd be freaked out a little bit, right? If you went to a party and they give you big fat pickles, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? We live in a time where sending nudes is only certain app appropriate. Like, Robin, if you send a nude to a chick on Snapchat, she's going to think you're lame. My point is humanity has peaked. This is what we've come to now, is this weird layer of bullshit. You wouldn't get laid if you sent a picture of your penis to a girl on Snapchat, would you?
No, that's true.
I don't
know. Gmail, because that's like exciting because it's mostly business stuff, and then you get a nude in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wouldn't you just do it on Discord or Reddit? Where are you supposed to send pictures of your wiener these days? You don't know? You're the Gen Z representative.
I was hoping
they
Gmail.
sent you to help.
Well, we're all probably on Grindr here, right? Let's be honest. There's a channel for everything. We're marketing folks. Okay, we have to understand that there's a different channel. There's a different audience for everything. Yeah. Know your audience.
No,
understand the platforms. So,
are you pretty big on Grindr then? Like, would you recommend that for most business owners?
I'd recommend it for. I mean, if you're not on every single platform at all times, simultaneous. I'm live streaming to Grindr right now. So I forgot to ask you guys that, but yeah, we're being live streamed to Grindr, OnlyFans.
Oh man, this is exciting.
And Yeah. So I've got a camera on my feet.
Hey, that's me.
Oh, that was Robin's.
Oh yeah.
You're on Only Feet as well?
Only Feet.
Yeah, no, it's a great service. I'm a huge fan.
I'm surprised no one has started that. Onlyfeet.com.
You're never going to believe this. There's a huge
$1 billion
investment
idea
here today.
Yeah. Everyone open your checkbooks.
You're in luck, Rodney.
All right. What else? After Snapchat, you want to go to a little Van Gogh? You want to class this joint up a little
You
bit?
want to give Van a go?
Right. So I've always kind of been a big fan of these heist movies where they plan something very elaborate to steal like some cool artifact from a museum. Unfortunately, in real life, it's never as exciting. You just have to be like some weird French guy, smash down 2 glass doors, and you can run off with the Van Gogh piece. Yeah, and then so a Good Samaritan who was Dutch recently came back with a stolen piece. And there's such things called art detectives. I didn't know that.
Yes, and this man right here, Arthur Brand, is the world's most famous art detective. So a French guy stole this right before the pandemic, sledgehammered his way into a museum. A couple weeks later, sledgehammered his way into another museum and stole another piece of priceless art. Nate, you famously own quite a collection of art, priceless works. Does this offend you? This has to hit close
to steal art like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, like you said, I'm a big collector, mostly Beanie Babies. And a huge collection. I've got one of the largest collections in Chattanooga. And the suburbs of. There's another guy that has a really large one that he and I, both big grinder guys. But I mean, if you're gonna go steal art, I don't know. Van Gogh. My understanding is he was a captain during the Spanish Armada.
That sounds about right.
A drunkard.
He would do these little doodles from time to time, and people collected them. So I'm not really familiar with this kind of like low
budget.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because this is Thomas Kincaid. It doesn't look like one. Who is this again?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was a magic eye. I was trying to stare at it for a long period of time, and I couldn't quite see what the
and then shit comes out at you.
Point.
Yeah, I don't listen. I'm not in your caliber, Rodney and Robin. I don't know about you, but art does nothing for me. This is worth millions of dollars. Does this do anything for you? Do you like looking at this? I don't. It bothers me.
No, man.
It seems kind of small.
Nothing's happening. You know what I do like? Have you guys ever seen this? This is oh boy, this gets me going. Oh shit. You seen this piece of artwork? Don't you think, objectively speaking, that this is like, what would you rather do? Would you rather watch Infinity War or go to a museum and look at this thing?
I would rather do neither of them.
You don't celebrate the entire catalog of Robert Downey Jr.? The fuck is wrong with you?
I like Robert Downey Jr. The problem I have with superhero movies is that they don't seem realistic to me.
Oh, that's the issue. No, that makes sense.
That's the problem I have with them. They're not realistic.
Well,
because they're not hustling and grinding.
No.
Okay. Well, what's Nate's
everything's
take on
given
movies?
to them?
Is it okay, or is this like something you can't even be thinking about because you need to be hustling and grinding?
What, going to movies? Yeah, Nate, do you watch movies, or is that not? What about for inspiration? Is there anything that you watch to get?
I do. I will say I love movies. I from time to time, right? I do get a little bit of inspiration. I don't like to. The problem is that I am busy hustling. I am busy grinding. I am busy strategizing. So I don't want to. I can't really go to a movie that's longer than 30 seconds. So if have you guys ever seen the Yo Quiero Taco Bell?
Yes.
Commercial. No, that's one of my favorite movies.
That is a great film.
I love that film. And there's several different. I mean, just like Avengers, as I understand, there are several different. It's a series. It's in the 90s, and I'll rewatch that. Every week. So 30 seconds is that's as long as you can give to entertainment. Otherwise, I gotta be out there. Changing, transforming lives.
Right.
They need me.
You were the guru to gurus. All right, what else have we got, Van Gogh? Because we have a lot to learn today. After Van Gogh, we have this is, boy, did I learn a lot from this article.
So rumor has it that if Walter White did exist, he's definitely in Afghanistan, and good for Afghani Walter White, because apparently all the natural material needed to make meth is just in some Afghan bush. So now there's $1 billion industry going on in Afghanistan, and more funds for the Taliban.
So this is Afghanistan. This looks like San Francisco. I don't know what the fuck. You hand a country back to the Taliban and it all goes to hell, which is very confusing.
I got to tell you, this does not look like a group that has discovered Walter White like cash. I don't see any chargers, and this looks like there might be homelessness.
Which is odd. Okay, so here's the thing. Afghanistan, famously a major producer of heroin and opium, and now they're getting into the methamphetamine game. The Taliban, by the way, for a very religious organization, seems to be very pro-drug. So the numbers, since the Taliban took over, farmers have gone from making $425 million off of drug crops to $1.4 billion. But to your point, it doesn't look like these guys are in on the profits.
Sorry. Hold on a second. The farmers in Afghanistan are making $1.4 billion a year.
Uh-huh.
What are they doing? Burning it? Where's the money going?
I don't.
God. These roads ought to be paved in dollar bills.
It's all very confusing. But I like this article because they made the business case for growing meth as opposed to heroin or opium, because it goes, you don't have to wait for anything to grow. You don't need land. You just need cooks in the know-how. Meth labs are mobile and they're hidden. And there's plenty of ephedra plants growing everywhere in Afghanistan. So it sounds like a pretty good investment opportunity.
I'm sorry, it's illegal in Afghanistan?
Here, it seems to be a gray area. Consider that their government is run by a terrorist organization. So if the Taliban comes down on you, you're doing some pretty dirty shit. They seem to be looking the other way when it comes to drug manufacturing. By the way, did you know that ephedra is a plant that you can make drugs out of and that it's illegal here in the United States? Were you familiar with this? Seems like an investment opportunity.
Well, I think to me, this is just Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa. You guys have been put on notice. Let's step up our game, okay? We need to get back to the number one place, okay? We can do more. We can 10x this. We can beat the Afghanistan Taliban in this game, all right? Let's win this, okay?
Like, how are we losing a manufacturing war to this? Like, we have to be pretty embarrassed.
It's embarrassing. Right? This is embarrassing.
I can tell you this would not be up to Walter's standards.
You don't think so?
He was very fanatical about cleaning. Remember when the fly was in there? He almost burned the place down looking for the fly. I think there's a lot of flies here.
I watched an HBO documentary recently about Appalachia, and I learned that we don't cook meth here in the United States. Just like every other manufacturing job, it's been sent to Mexico. But now, evidently, it's over here in Afghanistan. Here's the other thing, too. As a guy that dabbles in casual drugs for fun, there's nothing about Afghani meth that gets me excited the way like Colombian cocaine. That has a nice connotation, right? You think it's pure, organic. It's going to be whiter than your normal cocaine, better. Does anything excite you about the prospect of Afghani methamphetamines? Like,
it's all about branding, right?
It is.
Think about it. Branding and marketing. What's the strategy, right? The Colombians really did a lot of work in their branding. Really cool.
They built it from the ground up. It was organic. I think it was word of mouth. I just think they had a lot lot of street credibility.
And then they did that show Narcos. I mean, they really did take it to the next level. Scarface really helped.
Yeah. Huge.
And Nate, you said you do a lot of coke to get up for certainly for the show. I would imagine for your speeches. Is there any brand of cocaine that you prefer over another?
Brand of cocaine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I dabble here and there. I'm not like I don't want to say I have a brand affinity, right? But I do have on my YouTube channel. If you go there, I do some affiliate marketing. Yeah. And so I'm not really in a position where I can talk about those brands right now. But there's 4 or 5 that I represent. Yeah. And so if you watch some of my videos and my motivational speeches,
I have. Yeah.
You'll see some of the ads there, and you can check it out. Yeah, and then you can download. You can actually purchase some samples off my website
directly from
you can download them for free when you pay $300.
We can print them.
You can as long as you have a digital printer at home, you can print your own.
So it's free for only $300.
You can absolutely you can
download
it's
free. The printing is $300.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
the printing is
We'll send you a 3D printer for you to print that yourself, and that costs another $700.
I don't want to kiss your ass. All you do is give. It's amazing.
Add value and transform lives. And so
I think Nate is the one who knocks.
Evidently.
Well, I mean, hey, if the Taliban really wanted to market Afghani meth, they could just call it the bomb.
Oh, wow. We're going to kick you off of this show.
All right, I'm not up to Nate's level yet. I'm just an apprentice.
You're here to learn. You're here to learn. This is why he's here, to motivate
Robin,
you.
I'm looking for an intern.
Oh,
Looking for an intern. Yeah, it's a paid internship. You pay me, but you'll learn everything there is to know in the biz. So
what would I learn on the first 2 days?
What will you learn on the first 2 days? Well, you'll be out. Essentially it's like a whole Karate Kid regiment where you're going to be painting fences, right? A little bit of waxing on, washing cars, that sort of a thing. And once you do that, then we can move on to adding value and what that's all about. But you've got to learn the basics, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay?
Don't give it all away now. Just know that you're going to be catching flies with chopsticks.
Yeah.
We're
going to be shipping you to Afghanistan, and you're going to be, there's all the flies in that photo that you're going to need to catch. You have to suck before you succeed. And
that's true. This is the intern camp for the Catanus.
These are my These are my interns. These are just my trainees.
This is the training ground. We're in the trenches.
The company dog that's on every stupid profile. It's it's good.
The dog interviewed me.
One more thing about Afghanistan that I found pretty sad. As it turns out that they're struggling with drought, economic hardship, the continued consequences of decades of war and natural disasters, and now they've turned to drugs. It doesn't. Afghanistan, man. Oh, it seems like they could use some motivation or something. Maybe going up there and talking them up again. It sounds rough. It seems like this would be a huge opportunity.
I feel like they could use a little inspiration. They can use a little positivity.
I agree with you.
I always tell everybody my blood type is B positive. and it's things like that I could say,
right, that would
at that crowd and bring a little bit of levity to the crowd, right? And start a conversation.
Yeah. According to this article, they could use some levity. There's a lot going on, and I think they need somebody like you. And Robin.
Yeah,
I got to be honest.
I'm inspired.
When you were listing out all of the issues in Afghanistan, I said after the first one, I would have turned to drugs. But go on. Yeah,
I know. It's you ever watch Intervention where those guys tell their stories, and then you're like, oh fuck, just drink. How else? Yeah. That's how I feel about Afghanistan.
I'm like, all he's doing is drinking.
They have the most.
It's not got wrong yet.
If you live in Afghanistan, God damn it, do some meth because it ain't getting any better anytime soon. Let's just breeze past this. I want to get inspired. I'm ready to get inspired.
I want the healing.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't really understand Eastern Europe's obsession with saunas, but if anyone has been to a sauna, please tell me. Is it really that good that it's considered a necessary war logistic to send mobile saunas to the front lines of Ukraine? I hate to assume, but Nate seems like the guy to enjoy an occasional sauna. What's it like?
Yeah, you like sweating?
Love a sauna. You guys, Joe Rogan guys.
Yeah, I know Joe.
Cold. Yeah, Joe and I, big email buddies. I sent him lots of emails. He hasn't responded yet, but I'll go from the sauna. It's part of my morning routine. So you guys probably, if you follow me, if you've taken a workshop, if you've read my book, if you follow me on social, then you know my morning routine. 2 a.m. I'm already awake, right? Because you don't need to wake up if you never sleep. True. So start awake, right? That's the first key to being a winner. 2:30 right into the sauna. 2:45 cold plunge. Yeah. 2:50 first workout of the day. Yeah. Wrists and ankles.
Okay.
3 o'clock, I'll get back into the sauna. I'll fly to Ukraine and I'll just hop in the sauna there, give a motivational speech, fly back. Actually, I have my routine pulled up here. So what else? 3:15 kale smoothie with some veal. 4 a.m. mastermind. My mom. Sure. Yeah. We talk about business. 5 a.m. second workout, wrists only.
Oh, wow.
Right. Did the wrists earlier, do them again. Save the ankles, let them rest. Yeah. 6 a.m. business strategy meetings, the whole team. Okay. We'll look at like spreadsheets and business plans.
A lot of business stuff.
Paralysis analysis.
Right. 7 a.m. taekwondo. And then 8 a.m. meditation and playtime. Right. So, and then back to the sauna. So every morning, big believer in the sauna, 3 times a morning.
I can tell. It's interesting that you call up your schedule because you're ever evolving, right? You can't get stagnant. You have to hustle. You have to grind. This is an earlier version of your schedule, which seems like maybe it was less intense, but you've grown since you've done this.
Yeah, that was from yesterday. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, exactly like you said, right? Like if you're not changing, you're not evolving. If you're not growing, if you're not showing, or if you're a grower and not a shower, if you're a shower and not a grower, if you're not doing both, then you're losing, right?
No, that's absolutely true.
Of course.
Win is Nate Catanus. This is So you got that from the website, and that'll be updated.
I would imagine so. Can I ask you? So your body is also adapted to your hustle and grind, because it only takes a minute to shit, and right at 5:15, you're ready to go.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing is and that's why this is even already out of date, right? 5:15 to 5. I've removed that minute. I've completely made that minute even more efficient, right?
Sure.
A fish shit is what I call it. And what I'm doing is I'm not even going to the bathroom, right? I'm just continuing. I'm powering through, right? So yes, poop is, is occurring, but I've also got the chute case lodged up there.
Yeah.
And it gathers all my feces, right? So it's sausage in, chute case in, poop out, and I do that at the end of the day. So the chute case has changed everything.
It sounds like
I've saved those minutes out.
I want to invest.
Yeah. You're saying that there's still opportunity to invest right now.
There's still opportunity if you act now.
Okay.
You can still make.
But by the end of this podcast, it's over. Is that? That's what I'm.
By the end of this podcast, so yeah, I can see the numbers. They're just rolling in right now. I've got my guy over there. There's still a couple openings. He's saying it's my guy.
But it would behoove the $500,000 each though placement. Is it a block of $500,000 each?
It's a $500,000 each, right? Okay. Bare minimum. I mean, we were trying to make it easy for people, right? We're trying to make, and if you're in Afghanistan and you're growing some meth right now and you want to get in early on the ground floor, $500,000, right? You guys said 1.4
billion.
Billion. Okay, we'll take a half. There's no real way to know how much money that is. But take some of it and send it to me.
That makes sense. Okay.
And then you're in. Okay.
We're pretty big in Afghanistan. Okay. This is the portion of the show where we get motivated and we get inspired. I have a lot of questions. Like I said, I did a deep dive last night into Catanus. So you've motivated everyone from Grant Cardone to Elon Musk to Gary Vaynerchuk. Can you tell me what is stopping those guys from reaching your level?
Reaching their full
potential? That's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Grant Cardone, if you're Gary V, if you're Tony Robbins, if you're Carrot Top was one of my former clients, by the way, along with Roseanne Arnold, husband.
Sure.
Not Tom Arnold, the one before Tom.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yes. Yes.
So it's you got to be a little embarrassed, right? If you're sitting up there on your throne, you're talking down to everybody, and you're not reaching your full potential.
Yeah.
One of the questions I always ask my students in my workshop, are you a wolf or are you a sheep? Right? Think about that, right? You have to go through this. You have to think about this. So like, what does a wolf do? Right? A wolf has 47 teeth, right? Do you have 47 teeth? Yeah. Think about that for a second. A wolf owns at least 7 LLCs in Arkansas, right? A sheep, nothing, right? Nothing. Okay. How many LLCs do you own? Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
You're not a wolf. You're a sheep. Okay. And that was a message not to you guys, but that's calling out Tony Robbins, Gary V, right? They're a sheep in wolf's clothings. Yeah. I said clothings.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Right.
So this is the challenge that I'm issuing to you guys right now. If you're watching this, and I know you are, I mean, the hundreds of thousands of thousands of hundreds of tens of hundreds of thousands of people that are tuning in right now.
Right.
I challenge you to go start an HOA.
Yep. Own
real estate.
Yes.
And win. And succeed. Right. And follow and again, I teach all of these tactics and strategies for you to become successful in doing that.
Can I ask a question? I have a question. I noticed that I was watching a Gary V video one day, and obviously we all know he's relatively wealthy. I was a little confused though when he showed up with a film crew to a yard sale looking for Pokemon cards. What's the strategy there? Is he trying to grab a couple of bucks before he flies out on the private plane, or like what's going on?
Yeah, that was video that was actually taken at my house. Okay. And he says he was looking for Pokemon cards. Right. He was looking for Beanie Babies because everybody knows that Beanie Babies are the future.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the future of art collection. It's what all of the high art connoisseurs are looking for. They can't find.
Yeah.
Right. But they know that it's in my garage. Yes, I put out a garage sale. Yes, I have a lemonade stand outside of that because I'm always hustling to make another buck. Right. I never leave any stone unturned.
Yeah.
Right. No corner unoccupied.
Mm-hmm.
So Gary V shows up looking for Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
Total bullshit.
It's sad, isn't it?
Better.
Beanie Babies, Gary.
Yeah.
It's Beanie Babies. We've talked about
and
this.
how much is your Beanie Baby collection worth now?
Oof.
I should run the numbers.
It's gonna run those.
I mean,
numbers.
let me ask you a question though. Is it comfortable for you to say it on air? I don't like.
You don't have
I don't want to get you in a situation where
Right.
it could be your life or safety could be jeopardized.
You can have the IRS knocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Joe
Well, and
Biden.
that's one of the strategies that I also teach. Right. I mean, think about it. If you're paying taxes, right, you're already losing.
Right. No.
Right.
Why would you pay taxes? That makes no sense. While we're
Millionaires-
talking numbers, though,
Broke millionaires pay taxes. Billionaires don't pay taxes. Right. The government pays them.
Yeah.
that's sound
Think about
advice.
that.
Sounds right.
Right. So I actually have a 3-part course, tax evasion strategies. And you can get that you can download that for free from my website when you
For
pay
how much?
$39.
$39.
So
It's not bad. So listen, while we're running numbers, I'm going to need 47 teeth. Is that right? 7 LLCs. You have another theory. you and I totally buy into this. You're saying you need to get 5 cease and desists a day, or you're not hustling hard enough. You're not grinding hard enough.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, right? If you're out there, if you're truly hustling, if you're knocking on doors every single day, you're cold calling, you're hot calling, you're lukewarm calling. I mean, if you're not doing all of these things all at once,
Right,
you're losing. And if you're not getting at least 5
cease
and desist orders a day from a business, from a family member, from your mom, right?
Ex-girlfriends.
It doesn't matter, right?
Anyone.
And get 5 of those a day, collect those. And I have a cease and desist order challenge. It's like a fun little challenge I do on my Facebook group. And I'll just issue that challenge. Hey, take a photo, send me the 5, right? And you get a gift card, a Starbucks gift card, $20. And it's just a little fun kind of competition thing that we do.
Yeah.
But 5 cease and desist orders, or you're out of the workshop, right? I don't play around with losers. Okay.
No,
I want
you
winners. I want hustlers. I want grinders.
Does getting blocked on Grindr count, or do you need to get the law involved? Does it have to be a formal cease and desist?
Does it have to be a formal cease and desist, or what's the other option?
Just getting blocked on Grindr. Like what?
Getting blocked on. Oh yeah, that's one of the. That's actually a separate course. How to get well, it's actually getting cock blocked on Grindr is if you can do that.
Yeah.
Then I know you have potential. Okay. That's something I can work with, right? That's something I can mold and shape.
Yeah.
Into
It's a starting point, I think.
It's a starting point. So Robin, again, looking at you, right? Send me a cease and desist order. We're going to have a conversation. Okay. Guarantee there's going to be a follow-up email.
Well,
I will.
Because Robin and I were talking about this the other day, right? And I want to get your insight. Is that I identify more as a hustler, and Robin said he identified more as a grinder. And I wanted to get your thoughts. Do you think Robin needs to move away from being a grinder more to a hustler, or is it just we're born that way? What are you thinking?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, this is a question I get every single day. It's a debate that, any hustler, any grinder knows that if you're not having this conversation every single day, all day long with multiple people, you're losing, right?
That's right.
So my advice to you is if you think you were born a hustler, but you're not a grinder, if you're a grinder and you're not a hustler, why are you forcing yourself to pick? Okay. Think about I'm going to order some Chinese food. Okay. Should I get crab rangoon or egg rolls?
Get them both.
Both. Get
Right.
both of them.
Yeah.
Right. Why pick one? Okay. Crab rangoon and egg rolls. They're both delicious.
Yeah, that sounds
Twice
right.
as good too. Twice as good.
Yeah.
So hustle and grind simultaneously all day long. And I can teach you how to combine the hustle with the grind. And I don't know if you caught that, but it did rhyme a little bit there. So that was good.
No, that was
I liked it.
Speaking of grinder, you say one of the things, one of the keys to success is DTF, right? Are you, could you talk to us a little bit about being DTF, having DTF? What does DTF mean to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a question I have to ask this group right now, right? Are you guys DTF?
Yes.
Robin?
Yeah.
Robin is.
Rodney is.
I think I'm forced to say yes. Yes.
You're forced to say yes. Okay, great. Well, in most people, it's not, most people don't really know what it means. It's dad's trust fund, right? Because if you think about it, people are always talking about how do I get rich, right? How do I attain more wealth? How do I accumulate more wealth? How do I become more successful, right? But if you start wealthy,
much better.
You're already there. You're going to win. So if you have a trust fund, preferably in your dad's name, and your dad isn't mad at you, Dad, if you're watching this, look, you told me to, cry in the other room, and I did. Okay, so I've been doing that every single day since the last time we talked, which is 3 years ago. But I hope you're watching this. And look, I want to make it up to you. And sorry, what was the question?
It's all right. Well, so part of, along with DTF, you're a big fan of BJ's, right? That place DTF. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things too. So like, many people don't know. My dad and I have an interesting relationship, right? So of course, Dad's trust fund is again one of my strategies to success, and you have to find ways to get that. Another thing too is to give your dad a BJ. That is it's a second step in the key to success. And as it's as you guys probably guessed, a BJ is a blowjob. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Exactly like that. And a blowjob, of course, what I mean by that is a job blowing a horned instrument, and the Tijuana brass band. Herb Albert is one of the most famous, most wealthiest blowjob artists in the world. Right. Trumpet player, and he makes incredible amounts of money and wealth and has been incredibly successful. So having a blowjob, right? And I got my dad a job for the Tijuana brass band. Gave him a blowjob, and he's been incredibly successful, and that's fed into the trust fund, right? Think about this. It's reciprocal, right? And that's going to feed back into me once he accepts my apology. So
that's huge.
These are two really important strategies, Eric, that I'm glad you brought these up.
Yep.
Very misunderstood, but yes, very, very, very powerful.
Well, I think this is a lot of your theories and your practices don't make sense on the surface. So you really have to dig down. You have to get into these free courses for however much they may cost, and really throw yourself in, right?
You do, yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people call it a pyramid. It's a pyramid system, is what it is, and it's built layer by layer. And again, I'm giving everybody the opportunity to invest in the shoot case. Yeah, right. That's just the beginning, right? You're going to be entered into the pyramid system. Yep. Where you'll be a part of the Nate Catanus Enterprises. You'll go out, sell shoot cases on my behalf.
Yes.
And then you'll recruit your team to sell more shoot cases.
Yeah, and those will work under me then in that case, right?
Absolutely, right. So this is all part of the investment. This is all part of the system.
Yep.
That we built that's incredibly successful, and it starts with interns.
It's like a schema. I see. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this too. So I watched one of your videos. It came out in 2020, and you were kind enough to give 20 business ideas that anybody who at the time could have started something. Yeah. I don't want to say I'm anything like you. Clearly, I'm not. But I did have an idea, independent of what you were saying. So one of the things in 2020 you said was going to be huge was funeral DJs, right? Okay.
Huge.
I think that's a huge opportunity. And I don't want to interrupt you, but I had the idea independent of this. I've been working on a few years. Funeral magicians, prayer card tricks. You sew the casket in half, get everybody a chuckle. Someone's crying, you get the endless handkerchief gag. I think this would be
the same way.
Combine that with the DJ, you could put the fun back in funeral. So I don't know if you think this is an idea that has legs, but
I love it. I think that we just started a business, is what I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing here, guys. I mean, I take my money.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, Rodney.
What I want to do is
send you an invoice. It'll be just an open invoice, okay?
Yeah,
and you just keep sending those checks.
Yeah.
Eric, I love it.
Thank you. I just thought, what if instead of, I have a funeral this weekend. Holy shit, I have a funeral this weekend. Just flip the script. flip scripting is hustling and grinding, thinking outside the casket. I just think there's opportunities here.
Absolutely.
You call it outside the casket.
Yeah, thinking outside the casket.
Mm-hmm. And I think you can,
we are.
To make an entry, right, you can be in the casket, right? It's closed casket funeral, right? Everybody thinks it's, the other.
Then you pop out. Oh my God.
Both of you pop out. Yeah. Do it just magic everywhere, right? All of a sudden people, they forgot they were even at a funeral.
Exactly. Oh my God. I'm so surprised. I'm excited. Turn that frown upside down. Okay, so there's something there. Tell me about
the other thing. Can I just say this too, though, while you're on it, is that with the closing of the circuses, I think there might be an angle there to bring that in with some of the
animals.
There's
a lot of untapped talent out there that is going to be funneling into this business, right? So I think we need to get this LLC set up today.
Yeah.
Figure out what the tax structure is, and let's launch. Let's go to market.
I've never been to a funeral with a circus bear, but I would imagine if I did, I would be quite entertained. It'd be
worth remember it. You would when you want a picture.
Yeah, especially if that circus bear is doing magic
and playing a few tunes. If he was DJing,
if he's playing and can play a recorder, a circus bear recorder.
Oh my God,
guys, this guy is.
It's the recorders live on tour.
I think there's we can't keep talking about this. Someone's going to steal it. What about relaxatives? This was another one of your inventions that I thought very smart. Could only come from the mind of a genius. So you want to talk
about if you think about it, like a mind of a genius, my mind is kind of what we're talking about here. Other people's minds, they get constipated with thoughts, right? Yes. Constantly clogged up, right? Mm-hmm. You got to relax.
Yeah,
you got to relax. The only way to unconstipate your mind is with the pill that we've invented. It's called the relaxative. Yeah, right. People think about it like people are used to using laxative. We already know the technology behind laxatives and how that opens things up and allows things to flow freely. Right. We want your thoughts to flow freely. We want your stress of the workday to be released. And so relaxatives, I mean, it's just really it's a placebo. It's a sugar pill.
Right. But
the marketing,
we know
studies.
Yes.
The studies show that, studies show. And
absolutely.
That's one of the things to know about the studies is they do show. So that's important.
I think to this vein, one of your core tenets and your teachings is to speak first and to think never. And I think this sort of plays into that a little bit. Can you talk about how you came up with thinking first and speaking never?
Yeah. Well, I started with not thinking and just speaking. Right. And that came out of my mouth. And I thought I should have more things come out of my mouth without me thinking.
No,
right?
I think
so. Speak first, think never. What happens when we think, right?
Mm-hmm.
We pause. We're about to say something really important, really amazing, really insightful, but we pause. We think, is this appropriate for children? And we stop, and it gets in the way of us saying what we're gonna say, right? And we can't go out there. We can't transform lives. We can't impact people unless we're out there just speaking without thinking, right? So remove the thinking, and relaxatives help you do that, right? So it's all connected. And so I highly recommend, everybody picks up a bottle of relaxatives. You can download those from my website for free. Just with the code Nate Catanus Enterprises /relaxatives when you pay $35. So exciting for all of you guys to have this access today.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Here's part of what I was thinking too, trying to just get into your mind, get into your head, figure out the way you think. If you were to think, you might develop self-awareness. And you're famous for saying that if you're self-aware, self-awareness makes you poor. Right? Yeah. Right. No, we don't want to be poor.
Right. Well, how do you know if you're poor? Unless you're aware, unless you're self-aware of it, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
If you believe that you're rich, who's to say that you're not, right? And so if you and understand, having any kind of level of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, any kind of like intelligence when it comes to relationships, social intelligence, these are things that people talk a lot about, the scientists talk a lot about. But when you're not self-aware and you don't even know how people perceive you,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you're successful.
That's right.
In your own mind.
You're powerful.
And you're powerful in your own mind as long as you believe, right? Whatever you believe, you can achieve.
Yeah, I think in the current zeitgeist, it must be tough for somebody like you because you're really you're bucking trends because external validation is good, but society will tell you that we shouldn't seek it. Toxic masculinity, I think, has gotten a lot of shit done. Society will tell you that it's bad. Narcissism, honestly, who's famous that's not wildly narcissistic? What world leader hasn't been wildly narcissistic? To me, it's a good trait, and I think to you, you would agree.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a practicing narcissist. I'm practicing self-love.
Yeah.
Right. So people talk about self-love, how important that is. Right. Love thyself. I believe that was Van Gogh said that.
Maybe, yeah, probably. Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
And they all said it. Everybody's been saying it. Okay, it's not the first time we've heard this before, right? But practice self-love. Narcissism is a powerful way, and using external validation as a way to constantly ensure that you are, are happy. I mean, and what is happiness, right? Unless somebody tells you that you are smart, successful, or rich, how would you even know, right?
What confuses me about this at its core is, okay, I'm not supposed to seek external validation, so other people can't tell me I'm great. I can't be a narcissist, so I can't tell myself I'm great. At what point does my greatness get to come to me? If it can't be from them and it can't be from me, whom is it supposed to come to?
Me. I love that question. Yeah. And so, the things what I'm really teaching underneath the philosophy here is to be more like me, right? Because if you're like you, think about what are you doing right now, right? You're not right now. You're not jet skiing with hot people in Maui.
I'm not.
Right. I mean, Maui's kind of in a rough space, but you could still jet ski there if you wanted to, if you believed hard enough.
Yeah.
You don't have billions of dollars in your bank accounts, and you're not launching successful product business, even though we are doing that today, which is exciting for all of you and all of your audience, right? But if you can be more like me, which is never going to be attainable, right? Because who could do that? I mean, I could, right? But if you could try, then you could at least, well, I don't know. I don't really know how that's going to go for you. Probably not very well.
It's hard to roll the dice on that one. Yeah.
But give it a shot. See what happens.
But you need to shoot for the stars, and maybe you'll end up in Afghanistan. You got to start somewhere. You have to,
Poppy field.
I always reach for the moon.
Yeah.
If you miss, you'll at least get a good stretch.
Exactly. End up in a meth lab.
Those are some fun quotes that I would share with the folks in Afghanistan, just to kind of bring some levity and some laughter.
No, it's what they need.
Some joy.
It's a joy. It's a small joy. What motivated you to become a motivational speaker?
Speecher.
Get it right.
I mean, first of all, I want to be clear there are people this confused all the time. Motivational, motivational speaker. When I think about it, I don't give motivational speaks.
Right.
No, motivational speeches. Right. Motivational.
That's right.
Speech, right. So just want to make sure that's clear. Born with it. I mean, if you think about, you never really have to learn anything if you already know it all in the first place.
That's very true.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm thinking about like, hey, who has obstacles, who has challenges, who has anything in life, whether they've gotten a divorce, they've lost all their money, whether they are, can't find their pinky rings and they've been looking all day long in the jewelry, basket box or whatever it is that they want to overcome, they need a guide. They need a coach. They need somebody to tell them what to do and who to be.
Shaman.
Right. Exactly. A shaman. And if you think about it, why go through life experience on your own when you can pay somebody who's already done it for you and just have them tell you things and teach you things, right? So again, pay me lots of money.
Yeah.
I tell you what to do and who to be. And then, well,
yeah,
we'll see.
It just seems like you get to skip a lot of steps.
Exactly. It's like hitting the fast forward button. You remember those folks were having a great time playing games, right? Not looking. I mean, they were looking happy. It's because those guys took my course, right? The other guy you took a picture of, showed us a picture of, looking sad and grumpy, and
Yeah, he had never taken.
I don't think he was. It was in the Nate Catanus workshop.
Don't think. Obviously, Oh, come on. So can you tell us a little bit about your childhood? I know you have a story about your father with crying. Can you just in the hospital room, that whole thing, like where did you what's the origin story for the superhero that is Nate Catanus?
Yeah, no, I love that. Great question. Born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Grew up in a rough neighborhood.
Yep.
3,000 square foot shack, like maybe 2 Starbucks tops on a corner.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
pretty
humble
rough.
beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. Yeah. Not long ago, it's a few years. I don't want to date. I don't want to reveal my age or anything like that. But I essentially I created a pyramid system.
Yep.
Selling the internet to elderly people.
Okay.
And made a lot of money, made a ton of money. Don't tell the IRS. Seriously, don't tell the IRS.
I won't.
No.
Okay.
Secret safe with me.
And from there, it's just buku bonkers bucks.
Wow.
And I made a lot of money. I wanted to give back.
Sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I started Nate Catanus Enterprises. We have coaching, we have workshops, we have trainings, we have books, and I'm just encouraging you and your audience to buy all of these things.
Sure.
So that they can change and transform their lives. And this is a picture of your future, right? Look at these 4 stellar, amazing, incredible, successful, entrepreneurial, inspiring motivational men, right? This could be you.
Wow.
If you do the work and you pay me money.
Yeah. So you're saying anyone has the ability to be what these 4 people represent if they do the work and also give you money.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. No, I get it. Before we wrap up, can you just do you have an underlying philosophy or sort of a core value as a motivational speaker? Is there something that's sort of just the North
mantra?
The mantra.
Yeah, that's a great question. I love that question. I mean, before we do that, I do want to make sure that I want to give everybody an exercise, right? Because I want people to get a lot of value out of this moment right here. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to have value. So we want to do more today. We want to achieve more today. And I'm going to drop that mantra.
Okay.
To wrap it up. But I want you guys to think about, first of all, close your eyes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Think about a time where you tried really hard. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you can try harder than that. Okay. This is something you can do.
I'm inspired.
So that's the kind of value you're going to get in these workshops and these exercises and these books, right? So you can go out there, you can do more, live more, be more. I'm so juiced, I'm so jived, I'm so jazzed for all of you. But I think I guess I'd want to leave you guys with is, don't fear failure. Okay. Failure always leads to learning.
Interesting.
Except for when it's one of your vital organs that leads to death.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
that's sound.
I wrote that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I know we want to leave with that, but here's what bothers me is that everyone on LinkedIn seems to be ripping off your act, right? Everyone now is a hustler, a grinder. You obviously came up with this. Does it bother you? As imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Where do you stand with all the haters? Not even haters, the copycats, the people that would wish they were you.
What do you have to say to them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I gotta say I respect the hustle, right? Because one of my favorite quotes is pretend to be someone you're not in order to be somebody that you.
Was that Thomas Ripley?
Thomas Ripley, believe it or not. I said that, right? And everything that I've said today is something that I've said. Was it something that somebody else said? Maybe it was, but I said it today, right?
Yeah.
And so now I said it.
Sure.
And now we'll quote me, right? And so the concept of pretend to be somebody you're not, I'm encouraging, inviting, expecting everybody to try to be more like me.
That's a great point. And if you're going to try to be anyone, wouldn't it make sense to try to be you?
That's what
these guys, as far as I'm concerned, they took the class. Class is in session.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Now they got to send you a check.
Well, like I said, I'll send you guys all open invoices. You guys have my Venmos.
We have your grinder. We have your website. With the last 30 seconds, you want to push, where can we go to learn more about you? Where can we go to give you some money? What would you like us to do?
Yeah. You can follow me on all social media platforms, right? Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Grindr, OnlyFans. I'm on all the platforms all the time. And NateCatanus.com. And hey, thank me for being here. You're welcome.
No, thank you. That was huge. I think we've all learned so much. I think we're all so inspired. I think this was life-changing, and I just want to thank you for being here today.
Yes.
Thank me, Robin. I'm excited for your internship to start. I'll meet you in Afghanistan and
right there. Get the coordinates
by the bridge, by the pillar. See that guy up there next to the pillar up there?
Yeah, he's
the boss. That could be me.
Yeah,
he's the foreman.
He's the intern coordinator. He'll receive your application.
That's Trevor.
Yeah,
I'll get acquainted.
He's a nice guy.
No, he's a great guy. All right, listen, we're going to get the hard cutoff. Nate, if you want to stay around for 1 second, that would be great. But listen, America, we're going to be back tomorrow. It'll be exponentially less interesting and inspiring, but we'll be here. See you then. Goodbye.